Good morning.
Hi there. Hi, Lisa.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Good, yes. How are
No
you?
snow? Little bit of snow here. You got snow?
We had some snow yesterday. It was snowing all day, which was rather nice to look at. But it didn't really settle. Yeah. Not much to show for it. It was very pretty.
Yeah. Well, it's looking nice this morning. We've got lovely blue sky, and of course the light's very bright because of reflecting off the snow. So it's all quite pretty. Anyway. So Dennis is having connection issues this morning, so he may not. He said he was going to try again because we had a meeting at 8:30. He's going to try again at 10, but I'm not sure whether he'll get through or not. I don't know quite what the problem is, but it kept dropping out anyway.
Could you just remind me? So for the people we're contacting, can I just check which ones have offered and which ones haven't?
Offered to write stuff, do you mean?
Yeah, so you said a few people have offered to help, and then a few people were just sort of asking out of the blue.
Oh, so, okay.
Let me just
right.
find
Well, yeah. I mean, okay. Frank Kelly, I think, would happily look at stuff, and I know Graham Medley said he would be willing to look at things. Although, you know, I mean, he's so busy, so whether he could, but you could pass it by him. Who else did you have? Bernard would I imagine, Bernard Silverman.
Yeah. Chris Dye.
Yes, I should think so. Yes.
Julia.
You could try. Yes. Again, enormously busy.
Yeah.
It would be good to have any suggestions. Yeah. That's probably enough, isn't it?
Or, yeah. The last one was Hans Histebet.
Oh, well, Hans, yes. So an email will be coming round to everybody. We were just drafting it. But Hans is going to look at all of them. Yeah. He's going to act as a sort of internal critical reviewer. So he'll look at, as soon as we've got a first draft, complete first draft, he'll go through that. Yeah. So he'll be doing it anyway. So we don't need to ask him.
Okay, so does he want it now or sort of later after we've had some comments?
No, I think it's up to you really, but I think the idea is that he would look at it while we've still got scope to change things.
Yeah.
So, you know, so I suppose at the same time maybe as the other people, because the idea was, you know, that he might want to add. Sorry, we've got some feedback suddenly coming in. And have we lost Lisa?
No, you're good.
Ah, okay. I seem to get a picture of either you or Ben, but no, not both.
We're both here. Well, carry on.
Ben popped up for a minute and your picture completely disappeared, you see. So I thought, and then we got all this feedback. Yeah, so the idea was simply that it could be done so that there was still time to put in new challenges or to change the tone or, you know, whatever really. So I think it should be reasonably complete. I mean, if the introduction isn't done, it should at least have the main points of the introduction there.
Okay.
The other thing he's very keen on is that I think we mentioned last time, but it should link back to the previous volume in terms of saying.
Yeah,
you know,
that's something we haven't done yet.
Yes,
Yeah.
so that would presumably go in the introduction, but probably that's something that should be done. I mean, we'll have to write a general introduction for the whole volume, which will try to sort of set the scene in terms of, you know, what's different this time from last time and what the papers are trying to do and so on. But also more specifically in each chapter, they can address, you know, what the differences are from last time and sort of refer back. So that we don't look as if we're just reinventing the same wheel.
Yeah, okay, that's great, thank you. Yeah, and then I was also going to send to Hannah and Ben Ashby, who
yes,
both
why
said
not?
they're interested.
Yeah.
Okay, so hold off on Hans until we've got an introduction.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, but as soon as we've got something that's reasonably complete, I mean, I think it doesn't have to be polished, but it's a question of the content really. And then that would be good.
That's great, thank you.
So, are we going to make it this week? Is somebody joining us? I can't see anybody else at the moment. So say Ben.
Oh, I'm here.
We've got Duncan and Ben.
Yeah.
No, why can't I see you then?
Maybe I'm hiding.
No, but normally, there's something very odd.
Yeah, across the top I can see everyone, but
maybe
okay.
I think I had it on the wrong view. I think I probably had it on speaker view or something, because I wasn't getting. Oh no, even with speaker view, I don't know. Anyway, I couldn't see the two of you. But that's why it was swapping from Ben to you, because yeah. Sorry, I think that was left over from a previous meeting or something. Anyway.
Duncan, Ben, how are you both?
Fine. Yes.
Heavy snow up here in Glasgow this morning. So.
Sorry?
We've had heavy snow up here, so I'm just lamenting at the times we used to have snow days as a child, and
yes,
have
no
the day
more,
off work, but no more.
Can't possibly drive to work.
We were just talking about it, Lisa and me, I think, before you joined us. I think I just got a little dusting, nothing exciting. You'd have to work hard to make a snowman.
Yeah, but so it looks is the, you know, we're distributing it for people to look at. Is that's the plan essentially?
Yeah, sorry. I was just saying, just asking Valerie who was expecting something and who I was emailing out of the blue. Yes, that's the plan.
Just in the hope that it might sort of point at the odd challenge that we haven't thought about, points that might be added, which will be good. And I was saying, and I'm not sure if you heard that bit, that Hans Hesterbeek is going to look over all the challenge papers.
Right,
and take a sort of, like a fairly critical but internal, but independent reviewer. So, and
are they going to be sort of cross references within the papers to each other, or is it?
Yes, should be. Yeah. And I mean, as much as possible, we can do that ourselves. But obviously, somebody like Hans looking at all of them might be pointed a few.
That's good.
I think Dennis and I'll probably try and look at them all as well. So hopefully, and of course, people like Ben who are who are contributing to several actors, a very good and Lisa too, conduit between papers to know what's
We've already written that elsewhere.
Well, I think that is a bit of a problem, isn't it? When you're sort of, you're writing on, I don't know, data or something, and it's in the data paper, but there's a bit in the modelling paper and a bit in the policy paper. And
that's right. You know. And it kind of needs to be, I suppose, because these papers get separated off and get lives of their own, don't they? When they nobody reads the volume, you know.
No, well, I think that's right. People in general will read papers, not volume.
Yeah.
So, but as long as we've got the cross-referencing in, it should work.
So is the plan to come back in a couple of weeks to once those sort of comments have come in, at least for that?
Yes, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
And that everyone would probably appreciate some time to do their main jobs. And it just kind of makes sense to wait until we've had all the comments.
It's half term next week too, isn't it? So doesn't that mean some people will have even more parental duties, or maybe they've got them all already? I don't know. And all this homeschooling, it's hard to.
Yeah.
I blame the modelers.
So is it ready to go to people, do you think, Lisa?
So Dennis was going to have a go at an introduction. I don't know if he's been able to.
I don't know. I haven't heard at all. As I say, if he wasn't here, he sent apologies that he's having the internet problems.
But I think everyone has made the changes they want to make, or had the opportunity to make the changes they want to make. I think maybe we are ready. Oh, I see Duncan's added a short section on recommendations.
Oh,
at the bottom. Conclusions, yeah. Which was sort of turning our bullet points into sentences. So that's good, thank you. We have an end now, so that's always good.
No.
Beginning of the end, anyway.
Beginning of an end, yes.
So is that? Oh, that's in. Okay, so that's
the very bottom.
Yeah. So I did a little bit yesterday on.
Yes, 10.7.
Just on 10.7. It was just. I didn't do it but didn't put it into the draft. It was really just the bit. Well, a couple of suggestions, I think, but the main bit was just the bit in 10.7 where Peter had rewritten it. It's still at the moment got, a decision D and an outcome O and things. And I thought we could actually tidy that up a bit. And I just redid it to make it slightly more, well, what I thought was more in line with the style of everything else. And I removed all the we's.
Yeah. Yes, yeah.
Because there were quite a lot of things. So I just, so I mean, if people are happy, particularly if Peter is happy with that, that can just be pasted in instead, but I didn't do it because
yeah, I don't blame you that I was having trouble editing the sort of equations in the document.
We were also going to put a references section in, weren't we? Is that I've sort of forgot?
Yeah. So, so I thought what
there was
would be easiest is if everyone wrote down in some way their references, and then I can just use Mendeley on my laptop and add them all for now.
Sorry, I've called it 10.7, but of course you've renumbered, haven't you? So it's now 10.6. Yeah,
that's fine. I'll change it when I copy it back in.
Sort it, yes.
Yeah, I'll do a run through of all the things and take out the names and things like that.
Yes. So have we dealt with all everybody's comments now? Do we think?
Ooh, we haven't dealt with the first comment.
I've just seen your comments on 10.7 for my section, so I can go through quickly. There's not many to deal with, but I can go through those after this meeting and
Yeah.
it up.
Yeah, I think it was the bit I sort of rewrote was mainly the couple of paragraphs of Peter's, but
Yes,
there were
yeah.
a couple of comments earlier up. I can't remember what they were now, but just
Yeah. No, they look fine. I'll deal with those.
okay.
Do we want to use the term policymaker or decision maker, or a mixture?
I think I would suggest policymaker, because within the models there are decision makers in what goes in the model, and so it sort of differentiates the model to the policy, I suppose. That's my initial thought without a lot of thought.
Yep. Okay, so going back to references, has everybody popped in the references that they would like to reference?
I think within the text, but they
Yeah.
haven't sort of appeared as a reference section yet.
No, that's fine. I can just copy them.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Although sort of referencing back to the prior paper series, there may be scope to do that, the 2015 challenges. So that hasn't sort of been integrated into the text, mainly because I'm not too sure about it, because you could sort of reference that to death if you like.
Yeah. Do you think, I mean, we can do some of that in the introduction.
I think that's right. I think that's where it belongs.
Did you think it needs to be done in the actual sections as well?
I don't think so. But I mean, sorry, I haven't really read that 2015 paper too much, but I'd imagine some of the things we're saying are fairly similar.
A lot.
Yeah.
We do have a different angle though.
Yeah.
So the 2015 paper was sort of modeling more generally.
Yeah.
There are sort of different constraints here. But yeah, well, it's certainly important to acknowledge.
I think in the introduction, I think it pervades the whole thing, really, doesn't it? So I think that's probably where it belongs most. Yeah.
Yes, I was just looking in 10.1. There aren't any references. Maybe there ought to be, but there aren't. There are just some cross references to other chapters in the volume. So I don't think there's anything there.
Duncan, did you want any references in 10.4, now 10.3?
I'll just put something in about referencing to where the sort of constitution of sages, I suppose, but nothing.
Yeah, should I just reference the Sage webpage?
I think there's a constitution type document. I'll stick it in.
Great. Yeah. Okay.
Terms of reference things.
And then I think other people have jotted their references in, and I can just copy those. Okay.
Quick message from Dennis, which says, Don't know whether he sent that to everybody. No. Tried, made coffee, tried again. We'll have to catch up with policy on YouTube later. So you might send him a quick email to say, waiting for the introduction that he promised. Actually, I'll reply to him and I'll ask him. That would be
yeah, that would be good.
A useful thing to do.
Oh, the comments. Yeah, we were gonna see if we've dealt with all the comments. It's probably the last thing. So we'll assume Dennis is working on introduction.
Well, I'm just saying, did he make any progress with it?
Yeah, thanks. I'm just looking through the comments and seeing if we've dealt with everything.
That he seems to be able to send email, so that's working.
That's good.
Yeah. Okay.
I wasn't sure if we wanted to move some of Kerry Ann's paragraphs to the modelling paper. Or if perhaps the better way to say that is they might have already been said in the modelling paper. So specifically the duplicated effort sharing generalized transferable models.
Hang on, I was looking at it without all the markup. I'll go back to that again. And I can see the comments. Yes, I can't. Sorry, I can't remember. I think I did look, but I can't remember whether it's in there or not now. I think the point will be made again there. But this is particularly talking about the need, or at least the bit I'm looking at, for international collaboration, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So
okay.
Maybe. I mean, are you suggesting we can remove that paragraph?
I was wondering if we wanted to, but it does give background to the.
I guess.
I think it is kind of a different angle. It's not duplicating.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's okay.
Well, we're going in opposite directions.
Oh.
What do Duncan and Ben think? Because I think those points are all made in the modelling paper, aren't they? The only bit that isn't is the sort of specifically international thing, but the rest in terms of.
Yeah.
Yes, I guess the important thing is making reference specifically to policy, because we haven't really talked about that in the modelling paper as much. So if there's a specific policy angle to that, then it's worth including.
Yeah, I think that's sort of a point, which is, this is everyone's sort of atomized into their individual countries and haven't really. So I think probably some of it is duplicated, so presumably can come out.
Yeah, could just cut it down. Well, ask Kerry-Ann if she's happy for it to be cut down a bit.
Oh, excuse me, I seem to have something at the door.
Okay, I think I might send Kerry-Ann an email. Just see if there's anything she wants to change.
Yeah, because I think as Ben says, there's not a lot on policy there really. It's more modelling.
Yeah, and I think also the paragraph a bit further down, variety is important. I think that's quite modelling focused as well.
I mean, I put something in the conclusion about just basically, everyone's looking at this individually as a country, and as well as modelers collaborating. The interface between modelers and policymakers is also an international problem as well, but there's nothing really in the text.
Okay, yeah, so we can take those shortened a bit if Kerry-Ann's happy.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I think all these headings are relevant, but they're not.
Maybe we probably don't need the background.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'll chat to Kerry-Ann. Just seeing if there's other comments that haven't been dealt with. Just to check with Peter that he's happy with Valerie's edit.
So I've addressed all the comments from Valerie in the 10.7 document that relate to my sections.
Okay. Okay, so I can just copy it over.
Yeah, it's ready for me. There's obviously Peter's comments, which I can't really address. Well, I could do, but I wouldn't want to. So
yeah.
I'll leave those as they are.
Yeah. Okay, I think that's all the comments for the rest of the document. So the only outstanding things are an introduction to include the 2015 paper, and then just check with Kerry-Ann and Peter that they're both happy with the edits we have suggested. I think that's it.
Good.
Right.
Did you get a response from Dennis?
No, I was just having a quick look, but there's no response yet. But I mean, to be fair, probably the email is going on and off as well. I imagine.
Yeah, I would expect.
So, yeah. But there isn't a response yet. I'll let you know as soon as there is.
Thanks. Yeah. So I think I'll get it ready, do the references, and then see where Dennis is at, and hopefully send as soon as possible.
Yes, well, it would obviously be good if we could get that get that to him and the others as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Be nice to have one actually, sort of,
Yeah.
a whole paper. Very exciting.
Yeah, I think we've made incredible progress over the last few weeks. Okay, so
I mean,
okay.
when we do send it to them, we should make it clear that this is perhaps I don't know. Has everybody else, because I haven't, read it as a single document?
Yeah.
I've read the previous version of the single document, but I will read it all before I send it off.
Yeah, I'll try and read
But,
it right through too. And once there's a single document, perhaps we should just have a look. And I mean, it might need the odd little tweak.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think it needs to be perfect, but we obviously need to make sure we've got rid of,
Yeah.
you know,
I
things
do.
which happen when you write as a committee.
Yeah, maybe if just before you circulate it to everyone, Lisa, if you can circulate it to the authors and we can give us a day, just a day, just to have a look at it.
I think that would be good.
Okay.
And we can, you know, even if it's only spotting the odd typo.
Yeah, exactly.
It's all things which, when you're reading, it's sort of vaguely irritating if there are still typos in it. So.
Yeah, that's good. Okay. So assuming it gets sent off optimistically very soon, I was thinking to give till the end of the month for comments. Does that sound reasonable, Valerie? And then also people can say if they need more time, of course.
Sure. No, I would have thought. I mean, we're not expecting people to spend a lot of time.
Yeah.
I think when you send it, you need to be clear what you're asking, which is basically just to skim through it and see, you know, are there obvious things that we've missed, or things that you don't feel are challenges anymore, or whatever. You know, we're not expecting them to do a detailed refereeing job on it or anything.
Yeah, I'll make that clear.
So
it shouldn't be too much. Yeah. So then I propose that we return on the 2nd. Does that seem reasonable?
Yep.
So that's sort of 2.5 weeks for reviewers to find an afternoon to look at it and send back comments, and then an extra day or two if they are behind, and then we meet on the 2nd. Does that seem reasonable?
Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah.
Okay. And you'll send us the odd email when there's stuff we need to look at and things we need to do.
Yeah, I can synthesize all the comments and such forth. And then that gives us 4 weeks or so to respond. And
great.
also send to Hans as well. Okay.
Lovely.
Great. Thank
you. So sorry, you're going to send it to Hans at the same time as the others, or not?
Do you have a preference?
Not especially, since we're quite well up for time. It could go to the others first if you think.
It might be worth doing that just in case there's any comments from those that we can incorporate before we send a more complete version to.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
maybe I might send Hans an email and see what his sort of timeline is, because I imagine he'll end up with a lot to read in the last week of March. So I might just check if that plan is okay with him as well.
Yeah. That's good.
Okay, great.
Yes. So you could give him the option really and say we're sending it to these other people. He could see it at the same time or afterwards, whichever. Right.
Yeah. Okay, I'll do that.
That's great. Okay.
Great. Thank you.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Enjoy a few weeks off. Yep.
Thanks very much.
Thanks everyone.
Bye-bye. Well done.
Bye-bye.